Hey guys, welcome back to Everything iOS. We are going to be talking about what Apple talked about at their event today. So starting off, let's talk about the naming of the new iPhones. We have the iPhone XS or XS, XS Max and the XR. It's a little bit unknown why they've called it the R. They didn't even really explain it in the event. So let's start off with the XS and XS Max. First off, we got the screen sizes. You got the standard 5.8 on the XS, and then on the XS Max we have the 6.5. Both of these displays are OLED. We have the new colour, which is the new gold, which looks absolutely lovely. I won't be buying it myself personally because I'm not the gold fan, but it does look really neat. They have a new storage option of all the way up to 512, so starting at 64, 256 and 512 gigabytes. They then also talked about the camera. I'm going to quickly iterate over these guys so you can try and slam as much information in a short period of time for you. So moving on to the camera, they have the same lenses, but they have done some trickery with software, so the image stabilizing image sense signal processor has been renewed and does something called now Smart HDR, which improves low light and gives a lot more vivid and more tone, shadow, highlights to your video. It can record in stereo, so you now have your own video playback in stereo. I will be showing you pictures just up at the side of me, guys, so you can see what they look like and exactly the size difference between the 5.8 and the 6.5, and obviously the XR, which is a 6.1 screen. Face ID, oh wait a minute, even though the XR or the XR is still a little bit confusing title, as one single camera, it can still do the portrait mode. Also, Face ID has come to the XR, so you got the true depth camera. The display on both of three of these phones is second to none. They have wider colour on the 10s, so that's the XS and the XS Max, where they're both OLED screens. The screen on the XR or the XR, I'm not sure which is the correct way to pronounce it, is an LCD, but they've reworked it and done something different with the backlight, so they can have the rounded corners of an LCD. There's a dual SIM. Now personally, to me, the dual SIM isn't really necessary as I don't really have a separate work phone to my personal phone, but there's secondary SIM will be an eSIM throughout the country except for China. So the SIM card tray will have 2 slots, but they've done it really neatly so it hasn't doubled up the SIM card, or so it doesn't take more room in the phone. Then the SIM card tray is just a single SIM card tray, but they stack on top of each other, so the chip facing up and the chip facing down on the bottom one. Colours, like I said, it's the new gold colour, and they have the white or the silver and obviously the space grey. Water and dust resistant, they are now IP68, so that's submerged in water for 30 minutes in a depth of 2 meters. They also say they've tested these products in orange juice, tea, beer, salt water, so these seem really durable. They say the glass on the new phones are the most durable glass ever on a smartphone. Why wouldn't they say that? Of course they're going to say that. The features that are different from the XS to the XS Max is landscape mode. So for example, when you're in contacts, you can have a split screen in a sense that you can have the contacts running down one side and then the contact information running down the other side. They have the new A12 Bionic chip. It has 6.9 trillion resistors on this chip. There's the neural engine, and there's obviously the GPU, there's the 8-core GPU, there's the 6-core CPU, and the neural engine has gone from a dual-core CPU all the way up to an 8-core CPU. Obviously, they have improved the energy efficiency on this CPU. So I think they said it's 50% less energy used on the low efficiencies, and up to 30% lower energy on the high efficiency cores. Obviously all of these cores can be used together, so you can effectively have a 6-core chip all runs, and it's no different from the A11 Bionic, which is great. But that neural engine, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. That neural engine is what helps the Smart HDR, so we can track the face of the subject, and can do improved red eye and really decide what kind of scene the camera is taking, and to completely help with the contrast, the focus, the highlights, the shadows, and also it also takes a long exposure now, and it helps to really get the detail and the lighting on that background of the scene, and obviously it merges all these photos together and to give you one spectacular photo. The camera itself, lens-wise, hasn't really changed. I think most of it is just software. Obviously the hardware has improved. They have an improved True Tone flash. They say they improved that. So yeah guys, that's basically a quick sum up of the iPhone 10. Like I said, there will be photos coming up on the screen for you guys to take a look and to see what you think. So if you can let me know in the comments below which phone you will be buying. Are you going to keep to the 5.8 inch, or are you going to go to that 6.5 inch? The size comparison is pretty remarkable if you compare it to one of the 8 Plus models or an iPhone 8 Plus. The phone is more or less, or just slightly larger than the Plus for the 6.5 inch, but that screen goes edge to edge, which what allows them to give a larger screen in a small or similar form factor of the Plus models. Pre-orders start on the 14th and they are released on the 21st. Pricing, the iPhone XS starts at $999 and the XS Max starts at $1,099. They can go all the way up to $1,499 for the 512. Again guys, if you can let me know in the comments your thoughts, or will you be getting a 512? Have you even filled up your 256GB iPhone yet? Personally, I've got a 64 and I'm sort of at the edge of my storage, so a 256 now may be the way to go for myself. But let me know in the comments below guys, and give some thumbs up and let me know. Moving on to the Apple Watch. They've done a new gold, which looks absolutely beautiful. They've got a new Milanese loop gold strap, which suits that watch lovely. They got the digital crown, which has been re-engineered and I believe is sort of a solid state button now. It's got the haptic feedback on the digital crown, so as you slowly scrolling through, like podcasts is what they use, for example, you just get a little feedback as you flicking through each podcast. It's thinner than the predecessors of the watch. The new heart sensor, now this is blew me out of the water, this did. So they have an ECG now built directly into the watch, and this is the first time an ECG hardware can be sold over the counter to the public. So they've really done a massive milestone there. So in the digital crown they have a sensor, and it uses the sensor at the back of the watch, which by the way has a stunning new beautiful futuristic design to the back of the watch for that heart rate sensor. But sorry, meandering off there, but going back to the ECG, electrocardiogram, you just place your finger on the digital crown for 30 seconds and it can give you a reading of your ECG. from this they can now show not just the ECG, but from the improved heart rate sensor and all the new algorithms they got, which is a new dual core processor, 64-bit, which does all this processing, which is phenomenal to have something which is on your wrist, you know. So like I said, that's a 64-bit, and they call it the S4 SIP, which is system in a package. So, you know, all the CPU, the GPU, and all the resistors, the bridges are all on one single package. They've also moved the microphone to the opposite side, so it's now just below the digital crown. They say the speaker is 50% louder, and they've also made the openings larger. It's also still waterproof to the same standards as the Series 3, so you can go swimming, you can go surfing, you can run in when it's raining heavily. And obviously the new design of the digital crown, which is just that neat little red ring rather than a full-on red dot on the digital crown to show that it's the LTE version. Fall detection on the Apple Watch, wow. They've done years, over a long period of time, they've said, of recording of trips and falls, real life falls is what they say, and the watch can detect when you've had a fall. So if you have a fall, you will get an alert saying it looks like you've had a fall or a trip, and you can just swipe and contact emergency services if you've broken a leg or something and you can't move. And really neat feature about this is if you have fallen and you are immobile for a minute, it will automatically contact emergency services and your emergency contacts, as well as sending off your location to these people. They have new watch faces, so they have new dynamic faces, and also the well, they say the Breathe app has been really popular, so they've now got new watch faces for the Breathe app. The dynamic watch faces are really nice. They have fire, water and vapour, and they sort of just come from the centre of the watch, and the fire illuminates the dials. The water spreads out and bounces off the edge, and the vapour obviously does the same thing, comes from the centre, expands out and bounces off the edge. They are really designed to take the full advantage of this new display, which I'm going to move on to now. So they now have a 40 and a 44mm watch faces instead of the 38 and the 42. They are over 30% larger, so I think it's around about 32% larger screen on the 38 model, which is now the 40mm model, and it's a 34 increase percent in size on the 42, which is now the 44mm watch face. You have that new stunning gold colour, like I said. It's got the same all-day battery life, so that's 16 or 18 hours, I believe, is what they said, and the outdoor workout battery life has been improved to 6 hours. So now you can do them long outdoor workouts, for example, a nice marathon. From that new sensors, heart rate sensors, it can now detect a low heart rate, which seems like a low heart rate would come across as good, but a low heart rate can also indicate that the heart isn't pumping enough blood around the body or isn't reaching certain areas. So you know, like lightheadedness, dizzy spells, they're all indications of a low heart rate. Obviously we still have the high heart rate notification and also a fibrillation notification, which recommends you then, if it detects a fibrillation in your heart, then it will tell you that you should go and see your doctor immediately and tell them about these symptoms. The cool thing about the ECG is it goes straight into your health data on your phone, and you can print or save this as a PDF. So when you go to your doctor can now see your ECG that was recorded in real time at them points. Because like the Heart Disease Foundation said when they were on stage, that more symptoms are absent when you're seeing your doctor. So just to have that information, take it to your doctor, is a game changer for the medical industry. It's thinner than its old design, so that's really, really neat. I'm not sure if it weighs more, weighs less, they didn't say. Pre-orders is September the 14th, and then it's going to be released on the 21st. Also, here in the UK, the previous Series 3 watch was only available on EE Network, which sort of does limit some people, because not everybody uses the EE Network, and obviously you can't get the watch on EE and have a different carrier on your phone. You're not utilising the full potential of that LTE. But now Vodafone, excuse me, Vodafone have been added to that list, which I'm really happy about because that's the carrier I'm with. So it's nice that they've added more carriers. I think it's always twice as much carriers now support the Apple Watch Series 4 compared to the Series 3. So that's a nice situation to suit a lot more people out there. So the sales on this device would probably, definitely, I say probably, is no doubt that they are gonna knock the socks off the sales of Series 3. So yeah guys, tell me what you think about the Apple Watch, about the new iPhones. So we have the XS, the XS Max, the 10R or the XR, I'm not sure how people are gonna say it yet. And also on the new Series 4 watch, if you can let me know your features. Are you happy about this new larger screen on your watch? Will you be getting the space grey, or will you be getting the new rose gold colour, or just gold? I don't think they called it the rose gold. Moving back, sorry, to the iPhone, I missed battery life. So on the iPhones, on the XS, there's a 30-minute improvement compared to the iPhone X. The XS Max has 1 hour over the iPhone X, which is obviously 1 hour longer lasting. The XR or the 10R is 1 hour and 30 minutes, so 1 hour and a half greater than an iPhone 8 Plus. Now obviously, because of the space they got in the phone, they can improve the size of the battery or increase the size of the battery. And also with the new A12 Bionic chip, with the low efficiency cores using less energy and the high efficiency cores using less energy, they're able to improve the battery life of this. So again, let me know below if you ever had problems with the length of your battery on your phone, on your watch, and let me know in the comments guys. So that's a quick iteration of what Apple announced. Let me know if I've missed anything out. I have tried and cram as much as I can in a small space of time, so there's no doubt that I have missed a couple of things, but let me know in the comments below. And if it's a substantial amount, maybe 5 to 10 things or even greater that I have missed, I will do another video for you guys. And thanks for all that input as well, for all the people who are supporting out there. Everything iOS guys, so thank you very much. Bye.